looks very nice, right?
No, yeah, it's sick. I like it, bro. You got the soundproof going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You did it all yourself?
Yeah, I did that by myself.
Nice.
What you see behind me is a fake wall. That's what it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when you see it in the episode, it looks like, damn, bro. Like he looks like he's in a studio and whatnot. Look at all those, panels and shit and whatnot. But in reality,
that's really cool.
Reality, I'm in my living room.
That's so cool, bro.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
awesome.
It's all visually, it's to deceive you, Like it may look like I got some high-end shit, but in reality, everything is on the low budget tier.
I mean, we're still starting out, you know what I mean? We're going up, obviously, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
It's all about the grind, right?
It's all about the grind. It's all about the journey. Because once you're already there, man, that's it, man. No more, man. So like, this is actually pretty easy. I just went to Office Depot, asked them, give me like the biggest, cardboard panel that you have, and they gave me the biggest one, and I just used adhesive glue to spray paint behind the panels and stick it to the panel, and voila. And then I just used
that's sick.
Yeah,
I actually need to do that because I just recently moved into a new place, and there's a ton of reverb in my bedroom right now, so it's not that good.
Oh yeah, that happens, man. I mean, dude, like making your own home studio in your place, you can do that for less than 100, and it's like
for sure. I've been really busy. I just haven't had the time, but I definitely need to get that done for sure. Like, I want to do something similar to that. I want to get bass traps for the corners.
Yes, so that's where, that's very important. I used to have bass traps in my old place before I moved in, and I had them all in every single corner, man, and it made hell of a difference. For sure. Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And and the beauty about these, you can take these apart. Like you can just like put it on the side and it becomes a regular living room, and then just put it back again.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
For aesthetics.
It doesn't have to be there the whole time. That's sick.
Yeah, exactly. And then I just stick it with the painter's tape. It's the blue tape that you can get it. Scotch tape. Yeah. Basically, you just stick it behind it and then just peel it out. Doesn't ruin your walls.
That's sick. That's all you need, bro. It's super easy. No like permanent damage. That's awesome. I should definitely probably got to do that this week, dude. You said you went to Home Depot and you got those?
I got all that stuff in Home Depot. I mean, the panel I got it in Office Depot. They gave me the biggest cardboard panel. But everything else, like the adhesive glue spray and the tape, I got it all in Home Depot. I got it on Amazon, because Amazon they always give you. If you go to a Sam Ash or a guitar set, they'll screw you over for it. For something that you can get it for less.
I feel that. Yeah, nice, dude. Nice, man.
Yeah, no, it's a little home studio, I wish I can just like turn around the camera so you can see, but
you can see everything. Sick.
Yeah, like I got a light right here, I got a blue light over there, I got stuff over here as well. It's like
that's a nice mic too. I see you, bro. Nice, man.
Oh, even the mic is also homemade.
Oh, really, dude? Wow, the whole stand?
Yeah, well, not the stand itself. I bought it in Sam Ash for $40, but the mic itself, I made it homemade. You
made the mic.
It's 3D printed.
Oh shit! Wow, dude, you're insane, bro. You made a mic, dude. You gotta fucking label it and start selling them now, dude. You know what I mean?
No, I can't take the credit. I saw that on YouTube, and the guy was like super cool and showing me like all the files and how to do it, And all I needed was just a dynamic microphone, like a regular dynamic microphone.
You just made like everything else. That's sick.
Yeah, and I just needed the case for it, and then I just put the dynamic mic inside this case, and now it sounds like.
I figure so. It's like more condensed. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. No, the whole thing, like the case itself, the part of the case where you could put to the stands, and I keep forgetting what's this called. The
pop filter.
Not the pop filter, but what's covering the pop filter.
Just a filter, I guess, right?
I guess. And I'm the engineer, People will see like, dude, you don't know what that is? That is so basic 101. I'm like, all right, dude, can you make it? No? Okay,
you went to like sound engineering school?
Yeah, I actually went to SAE in Miami.
Okay, nice. I go to a school right now very similar to SAE. It's called SEDT, if you ever heard of it. It's like
SET?
SEDT.
SEDT. And where's that located?
It's in Miami-Dade, but it's its own school in Miami-Dade, if that makes sense. It's kind of like performing arts school. So I'm over there. They teach almost, I have a friend who graduated from SAE in 2018, and I showed him the curriculum, and it's almost the same. You know what I mean?
Oh,
very,
really?
very similar stuff.
What?
I think what you guys do is more like sound designing for the course that he took. I don't know about the one that you took, but the one that he did was more like sound designing and more like, I remember he told me he had like a homework project that you had to make like Transformer sounds. You had to make the entire clip with like Transformer sounds. That was super cool. We do stuff very similar to that.
I mean, that's one project that we actually did there. Like we actually did much more than just that. The school itself, it was actually pretty dope because it was all it opens you the door to do multiple things, you know, like
for sure.
Like I went into the mindset that I just want to be a better producer, you know. I just want to learn music theory and learn how to use these DAWs, learn how to use Massive and whatnot and this and that. After I graduated, I'm a multitasking that I can do everything. Like I can do voice acting.
Yeah, for sure. And you're confident about it too.
Yeah, they teach you, they prepare you for that practically. You know, that's what I like about it a lot from it, because then it's not like every other college or school. They're saying this is how it works. Now learn it and then come back again. Like no, they tell you this is how it works. All right. Now use that and go ahead and practice it. There's a studio right there.
That's how you get beast at it. You know what I mean? That's perfect. That's all you really need. That's awesome. That's really good. And SAE is a great school. It's awesome. You guys have really good teachers there too, I heard.
I mean, we got the best of the best. I mean, Grammy Award-winning engineers and producers, you know. Like you can't beat that, you know. You're literally learning from the
Florida
best
too, which is awesome. You went to the Florida location, right?
Yeah. I'm from Puerto Rico, you know. Been there for my whole life, and 8 years ago I moved down here to Miami to go to that school after I finished school.
Nice, bro. Respect, man. Very nice, dude.
And since then I've been here. I've been here working on myself as a producer and as an engineer, you know. And I've basically like done anything. Like you can ask me what haven't I done, and I'll tell you that's it. Probably the only thing I haven't done is working on as an engineer in studio levels, you know, like doing the whole, you know, setting up the boards and working on the boards and whatnot. Like I never done that. I've only gone to the studios to use my computer and make music, mostly EDM stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I need it. Is I don't need it for anything other than that, you know? So
of course. Okay, nice. You don't really do any recording and stuff like that?
Nah, like most of the recordings I do it by myself. The only few times that I have done recordings were, you know, times in which somebody needed my help because they cannot fill in it, so I have to fill in.
Nice.
I just supervise at that point. I just like, hey, can you just repeat the recording again and just do it like this? It'll make it sound much more wider and blah blah blah.
Nice,
once they do their thing, then I'll just clean it up a little bit and, you know, make it.
Nice, bro. Nice. That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
So you're like really well-rounded, man. That's really good.
Yeah. But I like more the live sound. I like more live sound that I do on studio. You know,
okay, cool.
Something about live sound makes, and you know, the adrenaline kick in and makes you feel like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's like more fun a little, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The only non-fun about it is like if something fucks up, then you know
when you're live like that, bro. Yeah, exactly. It's like a pump in your heart.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. The adrenaline kicks in like full throttle, and you have to fit something in less than, you know, the time scale of 30 seconds.
Almost. Yeah, you got to figure it out right away. Before everyone else notices.
Yeah, you know, and there has times in which shit really happens, and people don't really realize it because we made sure that we project that.
You take care of it so quickly. Yeah, exactly. That's awesome, bro. You got to do that. You know what I mean? That's the same thing with DJing. You know what I mean? You're like a little offbeat. You got to, you know, beat match as quickly as you can. But like, yeah, it's sick. It's sick.
Yeah. Even on DJ, man. I remember my DJ days, that I like probably early on, I never knew what was the concept of BPN or even beat matching. So I just like basically go left and right to see this is the right cue and band. That's it. That's all I did.
Exactly. That's what you're supposed to do.
Nobody told me that, oh no, this song has to go along with this song by matching the same BPN and then you match it. Nobody told me that.
You. Okay.
I learned about that when I started DJing at clubs. That was back in 2010 that I started a club DJ, and when they were telling me that, and I had virtual DJ Tractor and Serato.
Oh, you never use Record Box? Okay, I get you.
Yeah, I mean, I was an open format DJ, so it didn't make sense to use Record Box at that time, And sometimes some of these clubs weren't that, high end at the time. At the time, we didn't even have the 2000s. Everything was still thousands.
Yeah, around that's when the 2000s were first coming out. I would say.
Yeah, it was around that time. So none of the clubs had it, and everybody was 1,000. And it was like, well, if it ain't broke, so
don't fix it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Exactly. I feel like where CDJs are around. I mean, they weren't, but like, I want to say. They had something very similar to CDJs where you just plug and play, right?
On the CDJs? Yeah, you had a CD.
I mean, no. Oh, yes. Back then it was CDs. That's right. It wasn't on USBs. That's right.
It was never on USB. And it was all about
It's crazy how much things have changed in just 10 years, man. It's insane.
Crazy. Back then is like you made sure that you have two CDs, and each CDs has all your songs that you want to play.
Same thing as a USB.
Same thing, but you put it on both sides. And then here's the thing. What a lot of people don't realize back then, we didn't have the waveforms that the 2000s have.
Yeah.
That you can actually see and it helps you visually see a little bit when you're beat matching.
So you can match it up. Yeah, exactly. No, you didn't have that back then.
Back then it was all pure by ear, man. Ear to ear, man.
Wow.
And sometimes some of these clubs were massive dicks. They will hide out the BPNs for you.
Really?
They'll hide the
BPNs. That's crazy, man. Holy shit.
They'll hide the BPNs for you so to test to see if you're actually how good you are, if you're really a good DJ or not. So you're just like going flying solo, and that's why you see a lot of people having 20 tracks, 128 BPM.
They'll write it down. Yeah.
They'll write it down. So that way, when they put the CDs, they know they're on the 128. And all it takes is for you to hit at the right time and then just move a little bit. And then that's it. You're beat matching, But yeah, that was hard back then.
That's insane, man. I actually also went to a DJ school. I went to Scratch Academy, if you've ever heard of it.
I have heard of Scratch Academy. What's his name? Fiello used to be an instructor.
Yeah, Fiello. Yeah, actually, he was one of the first guys to ever teach me. I went twice. I went when I was a little kid, and I finished about 2 years ago now, last year. So Fiello, I had Fiello as a teacher. He's great.
I always wonder how those academies really work. Like, they actually give you is it a month course? Is it a year's course? Like, how does that shit work?
There's options, man. So you could do the accelerator. You could do the 1-by-1 classes, and that's going to take you about a year. And then you could do the accelerator program, all of the same information, but it's cut in half. And that's what I took. I took the 6-month course, and it's 6 months of them teaching you. There's very little production tips. They teach you more how to make edits. You know what I mean? But it's all DJing. I'm pretty much certified in Record Box. I can do anything. I know everything. I can look at CD. I just used the 3000 for the first time, last week, and instantly taught myself. You know what I mean? It's really cool. It helps a lot for sure.
That's fire, man. I'm still behind with the 2000s, man. I'm pretty sure the 2000s is probably my favorite ones too. And Serato, I've always used Serato almost my whole life before I moved in here. I had to use USBs. There was no chance. I have to learn to do it on USBs. I have to learn Record Bots, and I did all my memory cues, all the hot cues, and
dude, Serato, in my opinion, is a lot harder than Record Box. But I think Record Box is easy. Yeah, man. I feel like Serato is a challenging program.
I feel quite the opposite. I feel Serato is much more easier for me to DJ than than record bots, because in Serato you're hooked up to a computer and you
like a laptop. Yeah.
a laptop, and you can actually see more information about the song than you can on a small little screen on a CDJ, you know?
Yes, but essentially you're looking at the exact same thing, just portion of the waveform. You know what I mean? So you got to think about it that way.
Well, you're also looking at it color wave. It's all colorful, so you can actually see like the big fat beats when it hits, so you can actually time it and then just
for sure. Then you just got to do that by ear in record box. You know what I mean? You can't really see it. You know what I mean? But
yeah. So I learned I started with virtual DJ, then moved up to Tractor, then moved up to Serato, and I've been doing Serato for a long time. Shit, I can say I've been doing Serato for almost 10 years. That's impressive.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then after that, when I moved in here and they said, you know, CDJs and USBs, I was like, all right, I need to learn how to do record bots, you know. And thankfully, I had somebody that I used to know from Powerhouse Miami, Andres, Dr. Clutch. Shout out to him. He taught me how to do the CDJs, you know, how to do CDJs, nice. And then he taught me how to open, how to close, how do you mix about. What I already know how to mix about, it's just I need to learn how to mix about it on
CDJs
and the mixer itself. You know, the mixer.
Do you scratch? Do you scratch? Do you know how to scratch?
I fake scratch, man. I never really I pretend like I know, and I have my fingers are trained to go fast on the crossovers.
Okay, yeah. So you're scratching, bro. You know what I mean? You got it.
Yeah, man. but it's like it's minimal. It's like go. Like that's it.
You just drop the track. All right, sick. Yeah, you got it, dude. You got it though. That's sick. That's really cool.
I'm just a fake one. I'm just a fake. I pretend that I know, but I really don't. I'm just like, I never hear much of people who are actually good DJs scratch much in dubstep.
Yeah, man, it's becoming more of a rarity. I'm honestly not amazing at it myself. I want to get myself like a pair of techniques. You know what I mean? Like the whole little setup in my house. So I can really get serious about it.
Yeah,
because I have great teachers. You know what I mean? DJ Immortal, who's like an old school scratching DJ, who's one of the guys who taught me. And he's like a beast at scratching, dude. And I see the way he does it. It's like chopping rhythm, kind of. You know what I mean? It's fun. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of fun.
And have you already started trying to do little scratch stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I learned in school. You know what I mean? I know like the very, very basics. There's like names for them. You know what I mean? You have the baby scratch, the I forgot about them right now, but there's like actual names for each scratch that you do, and people like the professionals know about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what actually like really got you interested to say like, yo, I want a DJ, man. That's what I want. That's what I feel like doing. And what actually prompted that out?
For me, that's a good question. I mean, I've been going to raves since I was a little kid, man. I think I went to my first rave was Life in Color, and I was like 14 years old.
Oh, for sure.
I was like 14 or 15. Yeah. I saw Jack U that year. It was crazy. And then I saw that. Yeah, man.
Jack U.
Back-to-back Diplo.
The 2015 one?
Yeah, the 2015 one. It was 20, like 2015, 2016, I think. Yeah, around that time.
Dude, that was literally my first Life in Color.
No way, bro. That's sick.
Dude, that's like the first time I DJ on a festival on that scale.
No way, bro. That's so sick.
Dude, like that was yeah, because I got in there early and Big and Slim, my homies, they were like doing the water stage, and then all of a sudden everybody else was doing the local stage, and I was there doing back-to-back with Audigy at that time. And that was the first time that Nitty Gritty, shout out my brother, he was known as Ricky Mears, and he was starting to little by little planting his seeds, and he gave me his first 2 songs, and I performed those songs on Life in Color. And then later on in the after
I love
party,
Nitty Gritty too, bro. He's sick. He's nice.
He's a very, very
but yeah, dude, that's like awesome, man.
Underrated person, you know, super talented.
For sure. Highly agree with that.
Like
he's sick.
He's sick, man. Like if you ever have the chance to meet him, man, tell him that Wolfson sent you, man.
I will, for sure.
Absolutely, bro. San, so So you're telling me that everything all started when you went to Life in Color and you said like,
yeah, bro, it was like a rolling down effect, man. I went to Life in Color, then I went to Ultra that same year. Then I started going to like dubstep shows in like, I want to say 2017. I've been going to Forbidden Kingdom. Sorry about that. I've been going to Forbidden Kingdom since the first year. So that was 2017. I went to the first year. So then was Life in Color the one with Jackie? Let me fact check that. I think that was
2016 probably.
2016, right? Yeah, 2016.
2016.
Okay, so yeah, so it was like so the next year, Forbidden Kingdom for the first time, and then just constant rolling down effect, just going to as many festivals all around as I can. You know what I mean? And I was in love with it. I thought it was like the coolest thing.
That's fucking fire, dude.
Yeah.
So from DJing, and now what really prompted you to say like, I actually want to be there and perform in these festivals?
I started to realize like really, 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 really challenging, honestly. And I thought it was like a super master. You have to be like a brilliant person to get it done. Yeah. But then I had a friend who had CDJs, and I actually started, my boy Brendan, I started DJing on his like little DJJ 1000, I think it was.
Oh shit.
And then I knew how to use it. I was doing all right. You know, I was doing my thing. I'm like, yo, this is actually not that hard. And that's when it kicked in. I'm like, yo, I should do this for like professionally. You know what I mean?
Damn. And from DJing, that led you into making music, or you haven't got into that lane yet?
I make music. Yeah, I'm actually releasing my first song in October on all platforms, like not just a SoundCloud release.
Oh, dope.
It got me into making music. Yes, I think music was a separate thing. I've always liked music a lot. I just think I'm trying to like. I realized that music, the same thing with music. Like it's not, I used to think to make music, you have to be like a genius. You know what I mean? Like you have to be like Tipper. Like, you know what I mean? Like the most smart guy on the planet. You know what I mean? Like 150 IQ. But like, I just realized that anyone can make music, man. You know what I mean? Like it just, you got to just start doing it. You know what I mean?
Did you find anything very challenging? Like, have you already like know where to start and what DAW you were about to kick in and say, let's do it, we're here?
Yeah, I mean, I started DJing. So when you start DJing, going to producing, it's a lot easier than not, having no musical background at all going into producing, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. So I had a little bit of knowledge on producing. Like I knew intro, breakdown, drop, you know what I mean? And then it repeats itself before I even started making music, you know what I mean? So with that knowledge that I already had before I started going against it, then I just off production skills, you know what I mean? So that's why I went to school, and that definitely helped, shoot me up to where I am now. But
but you didn't know any music theory?
No, I'm actually in a music theory school as well. I go to the Florida Conservatory of Music.
Okay.
I knew basic chords. Like I read a few books on it and stuff like that. I knew very basic melodies, basic chords. And I make rhythm and I make like future dubstep. So there's not, in future dubstep, there is a lot of melodies, but in rhythm, there's not that much. You know what I mean? It's the same quarter notes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so basically. Damn, that's very dope. So now you have all this knowledge. What DAW you actually started on?
I started on Ableton. I ended up switching to FL Studio.
Really?
Actually, I currently use FL Studio right now. I just think it's in my opinion, for what I want to do, I think it's a much better program. I like the plugin base a lot more. I don't like those, grayscale, easy little plugins. I like it. I like seeing everything, like getting super into it, getting really complicated. I just like the platform more also. Like I like the playlist organization a lot more than just, going back and forth from the session view to the other view, you know what I mean? In my opinion. And I think it's just a lot easier to get just a faster track out. And I just like the way that it's set up. Like you just, one track just constantly stacked in the playlist compared to Ableton, where it's just like it's a free for all. You know what I mean? It kind of gives you like a somewhat of an organization. Like it tells you kind of, how to get it done, get the track out.
I don't know, man. Let me tell you, it's very weird. This is the first time I've ever heard somebody go and say like, "Oh yeah, I did Ableton, but I went to FLM stuck with, which I had no issue with that. That's everybody. If you feel comfortable on whatever DAW, at the end of the day, they're almost universally the same. You know, as long as you understand,
Yeah, exactly.
as long as you
Exactly.
understand the concept and how to do things, and you know everything is around the same. But I felt I've tried them all. From I started with FL and I did Logic and I did Pro Tools, and Ableton is probably like the only one that I stick to it because the freedom that lets me do, like it's so user friendly and there's so many things that I can do on Ableton that a lot of these DAWs limit me.
Restrict you back, yeah, for sure. And I agree with that. But the thing is, for me, it's like too much. Like I don't even know what to start because I think I have so much freedom. Or I'll start my projects in Ableton, and I'll take a really long time to finish them because I don't know. Like it just there's not FL Studio's like it's very detailed. Like you have to do one thing and then you immediately have to do another thing as you know if you used it. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know.
And what's your creative process behind making these songs? You know, like do you start normally at the intro and then work your way up, or do you stop at the drop?
Normally, what I've been doing recently is sound design first. So I'll make like a really cool sound that I kind of like, and I'll be the lead for the song. And then I'll be like, oh, this sounds cool. Let me try adding drums to it. Then I'll add drums to it, and then it just goes from there. You know what I mean?
Okay, and I want to actually talk more about these technical stuff right now, and then we can circle back some things that I definitely want to ask you about. For the technical part, when it comes to sound designing, do you believe that sound design should be for any producer or for any up and comers should be a luxury or a necessity?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question. I can't even answer that. I don't know.
There's no, I'll tell you this. There's no right or wrong answer for this. This is like based on your own personal experience and what you believe that this is how it is. All right.
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess it is a necessity to definitely know how to sound design. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you have to. It's a pretty important thing. You know what I mean? That's gonna help you go. That's your sound. You know what I mean? That's gonna determine people listening to who you are. You know what I mean? So I think you should make it a priority to like figure out your personal sound right away. I don't know. I can't answer that question, man. I don't know.
I mean, there's no wrong about it, bro. There isn't. And I will tell you this. I feel that it is a necessity because I'm a bass producer, and I always feel like any genre of bass, whether it's dubstep or drum and bass or trap or breakbeat or hardstyle, whichever genre you define yourself, I feel that sound design should be a huge element for yourself because it's what you said. It stands out from others, and because this is a genre that's very bass driven.
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, like you could be like a mumbo-ton DJ and use only drums on, you know what I mean?
Right.
Make a banging track. So it depends, you know what I mean? It fluctuates.
And that's where I was gone to, because like it's a bass driven genre in which sound design should be like the main key focus of it. At the same time, I don't feel like it should be like your number one priority. It should definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I actually do agree. Yeah, for sure. I agree with you.
Like if anything, like if you want to put it on a priority level, it should be at least at your number 3. Maybe at your top 5, but number 3 should be there. Your first 2 should always be song structure and mixing.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. I messed up. I learned mixing later, and I learned how to produce first. That's how it should be. But now I'm getting nicer and nicer at mixing by the day.
Hey, but there's nothing wrong about mixing after you do all your things. You know, a lot of the people actually do that. That they're a lot more frequently. I used to do that a lot more as well. That I put whatever I put out. This is how my project is. Now I have to clean it. Now I spend weeks and weeks cleaning it. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong about that. Like you're not the only one who does that. But now I've managed to learn how to make music, make sounds at the same time, cleaning it
Instantly
up.
clean it up. Yeah, so it's not bleeding or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Nice.
and I make my own audio racks, or FX racks, and not just me,
Sick.
but from other people that you can
You
easily
do that in
download.
Ableton? You make your own FX racks?
Yeah.
Sick,
I
sick, sick, sick.
save it because if I love how this sound worked and I love how clean it
The
is, and
post processing, yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
gonna sound awesome for the next thing that you do.
yeah,
That's smart.
exactly.
that's sick.
Because I definitely want to
I
use
see
it.
Virtual Riot doing that a lot.
Everybody of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
big
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
they do this a lot because the whole thing is that you want to cut time. That's what you want to do. Like you want to have the ability to open up your DAW session, and in a matter of 10 minutes or so, you already got a drop.
A nice, chunk idea.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And then in
Yep.
30 minutes to an hour,
And that constantly sparks your what you call it. It makes you want to keep going.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
It just
Yeah,
just fuels you
exactly.
in. That's why I have no problems with people using templates to start off your projects. It's like, okay, this is what I got. Now I just have to start on my idea, and bam, here's my idea. Holy crap, look at this. Because it's much faster and time effective to do that versus starting something from scratch and then you have to rebuild everything. Well, there's nothing wrong about that. Everybody has their own process to do things. However, if you can cut time by just adding, a simple drum loop that you like on a previous song that you did, it's like, man, I love.
You can use that for the next time, and then it just constantly makes you move faster. Yeah, that's a smart idea. I should start doing that for sure.
Yeah.
That's a genius idea.
No, definitely, and it's always good. It's always good.
FL Studio, I like making my songs personally. Like, I don't want them. I want my songs to sound somewhat similar, but at the same, I like doing everything from scratch. I have no problem spending taking the time to like get really into it, you know what I mean, personally. But that is a good way. I don't know, you know what I mean, just gets a lot of similarities, and like, you know what I mean, having the same drums from the previous track, so they all bang the same, you know what I mean, or
in the same note, every
yeah,
of your tracks are in an F minor, so you know that your songs are always on the
both
same
of your
key.
songs are exactly when you blend them in, exactly.
Like if you would listen to some of my songs, you will notice that all of them are in the F minors. The remixes are in a different scales because depending on the remix that I'm making, they're already on their own scale. So I have to oblige by them and then do it around that scale, But all my songs because I want something simple, I want to make it like, there you go. Even the most melodic stuff is on an F minor, and somehow it sounds nice. It sounds happy, which is wild because most of the time when you hear on between scales, on major scales is always uplifting stuff, and minor scales are usually like, downward stuff. But I somehow make it work having minor stuff making happy.
Because you know music theory. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's not just like I know music theory. I know like the basics of it. I know how to do chords and whatnot. But because
you don't need to get that deep into it to be a bass producer.
Yeah,
or for any like EDM genre. You know what I mean? Unless you want to get really, really technical with it, you know what I mean? But
yeah, it's like some of these big major producers, they're not even music theorists. Like they don't even know any scales. They just believe that the sound sounds dope and it makes sense, and there you go. They don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. But for a remix, like you just said, you definitely want it in the same key range.
Yeah,
in the same scale. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And if you notice, like the grand majority of these songs that you listen on dubstep, they're all in F minors. They're either F minor, G minor, or E minor.
Yep, exactly.
So it's obviously
that's exactly what they all are. Yep.
Yeah, so it's obviously not that hard to mix, and it's not that hard to make because most of the time when you practice the same scale, every time you open this a session, and it goes automatically, like that it's these notes that I play for this scale.
Yeah, exactly. You just go between the scale, you find the melody that you like the most. You know what I mean? After like doing it for a few minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And the cool thing right now about Ableton, I'm pretty sure Fruity Loop has it. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they either always had it or I don't remember. But they have the if you look at the piano MIDI scales, now you can actually select what scale you're working on, and they're gonna only highlight the notes that from that
Or in
scale.
that scale. Yeah, you can do that in FL Studio. It's super helpful too.
Yeah.
I don't really do it as much as I should do it. That's a helpful tool, but you could do it.
Oh no,
sure.
I take advantage of it. It's a cheat code for me. I love it. Bro.
No, yeah, for
I
sure, for sure. I mean, you can just look at the scale yourself, but it helps.
Like I said, everything is all about time efficiency. Like if this is gonna help me like make something really dope really fast, then absolutely I would encourage it. And
For sure.
And because it's always a scale that I already know and it's a scale that it's easy for me to make, I just basically just select and highlight it. I already just start messing around and making weird shit until I found a nice rhythm melody that I can use it as a melody progression and then just copy paste it all around and make chords out of it and make the sub out of it and just like bam, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Nice,
Everything is just to make my life easier and make my life quick on making these dolls because that's the whole point. And the reason why this is being known to like for a lot of producers is like, you know, whatever, you know, helps me cut time on making a song instead of making it
to get to the end goal.
1 hour.
Exactly.
It makes me do it in 10 minutes. It's to get to the end goal because, you know, of having the multiple IDs. I need a catalog, you know. I need a catalog, and then I need to send these IDs to artists or people I fuck with or labels, in which I don't recommend sending music to labels. Not if you're starting up, you know. If you already have a name of yourself and they're interested in you, they'll look at you, you know. But I always tell people, do not waste your time on sending demos to labels because
send it to artists for sure. All right, cool.
Yes, always send it to artists. Artists will 100% listen to it and they'll give you a feedback. And if they really fuck with it, they'll be like, "Oh, can I play this song? Can I download it?"
Fire. Okay.
Absolutely, bro. Never send it to labels because labels most of the time they have it in either a spam folder or somebody who doesn't know about music is listening to it and they just don't feel it, you know. So he's like, well, thank you for wasting my goddamn time, you know.
Man.
No. I have a whole ranting episode of mine about don't ever send demos to
it's sick. I gotta watch that one.
It's a quick one. It's like a 40-minute episode, but I made it very specifically that it's not to all labels. This is only dedicated to the majority of labels that are like that, not the few and the proud, you know. Those few.
They wanna. I feel like labels just want to see you that you have something started already. You know what I mean? They already see you.
Yeah, that's
stuff.
That's how they're looking at it right now. Like a lot of these labels, they just want to see like if you're actually dope and do you have a following? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Something that you can make business with. Because most of the time, people don't really understand that a record label is a business. Like they need to make money out of songs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what can you offer them
that's gonna make them think they're gonna make money? Yeah, exactly. I got you.
Because anybody can have the talent to say, yo, I'm a fucking dope producer. Here's my song. And they can say, yo, it's dope, but
yeah.
I mean, we got a bunch of artists that can do almost the same thing as you.
Make the same sound. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What makes you so different? True. What makes you so special? Like, why do I need to invest on you? Like, why? So
that's very true, man.
Yeah, dude. So it's that leverage. You know, you need to have leverage over them and not them over you.
Yeah. Okay.
So most of the time I tell people it's like, yo, if you really are that set of sending demos to labels, just send it to the artist. To whoever artist that's in their roster, send it to them. If they fuck with it, they really do it, and you're talented and you're very humble and establish like a nice little friendship, they're gonna hook you up. They're gonna hook you up. They say, yo, it's dope. And eventually the A&Rs are gonna pay attention and they're gonna look at you.
They're gonna want you. Yeah, exactly. Nice.
Another way in which I actually did this to Hybrid Trap is I offered them a service. Give them something valuable from you that you can do them for free. And then in exchange, it'll be like, hey, you can come look at my stuff, you know? Like what I did to Hybrid Trap is basically I offered them my service with hey, I can give you guys a vocal pack of 200 pre-drops and phrases for free.
Nice.
on you.
Nice.
All I ask is, that you tag me, that let the people follow me, and
that's genius, bro. Yeah, that's creative. You know what I mean? That's smart.
exactly. And let me tell you, I did free vocal pads with those guys, 3 of them, and they were like, oof. I can say like over 600 of those.
Really? Wow. Yeah. How did you make the vocal pack?
Bro, it was very simple at the beginning because all I needed was just a mic and an interface, and that's it. That's pretty
okay. And you did all the vocals yourself?
All done by me, all mixed by me.
Nice. Sick, dude. Sick.
Yeah, no. And at the beginning, it was like a rough version because I didn't know what was I doing. I just want to say something because it all started because of me when I was doing a lot of dubstep. I wanted some specific pre-drops or phrases, and for the life of me, I couldn't fucking
find them. And they went
find
around.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
And the ones that I really wanted, they're already being used by other tracks. So it's like,
gotcha. Okay. So
I decided to do it on my own, and I just had a very cheap Audio-Technica microphone, and I had my what was it that I had? And I had an Avid interface. It was a very, very cheap interface, and I just started doing it from there. So that's
all you need, bro. You know what I mean? That's awesome. That's good.
Bro. And then when you record it on or wherever DAW, you start chopping it, and then you start cleaning it up. And then if you want to be nice about it, you give them effects, and then you add those effects to it. So over the years, I developed myself to getting better and better at it until my last vocal pack. I already had a nice, PreSonus mic.
Already getting your vocal pack.
Yeah.
Sick.
So people were just
that's smart, man.
That's the thing.
That's smart. I've seen people do that. My friend actually makes FXP packs. You know what I mean? Like CM presets. So he kind of does that. But I never knew the process of doing the vocals, you know what I mean? So you make all the vocals yourself. That's sick. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, no, anybody can do it. And I saw it myself, like, man, if I can do this by myself, like, fuck everybody else. Like, I could do anything by myself. If I can do it, that's my mentality. If I can do it, then is there a reason that I need certain things? Like, no, I could just do it myself.
Exactly. And that's a good mentality to have. I'm going to start thinking that way too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's like,
if you can do it.
Yeah, if you can do it, if you have the power to do it, then by all means go for it.
Why not? Yeah,
like
exactly.
even if you have it all budget wise, like if you have the ability to still do it and make it sound like dope, hey, I made the sickest vocals with the most minimal shit. And people are like, wow, how you managed to do that? It's like, I don't know. Just like,
well, all you really need is a really good mic, man. You know what I mean? Not even a good mic.
Not even a good mic, bro.
Good post-processing,
it's a good,
bro. You know what I mean?
That's my belief. It's good post-process. If you're very good at post-processing, man,
you're good. Yep.
My mic wasn't the best. I'll tell you that right now. My mic was never the best. And I managed to make it sound like, holy shit, like came from a studio.
That's good post-processing, bro. Nice, man. Nice.
Thank you, man. That's how you gotta do it. And yeah, dude, like if I tell this to everybody, like if you ever want to do some service with some labels and whatnot, you offer them that free service. It's offer them as a pro bono, free gratuity, free service overall, because obviously, for them, they're not gonna say no to some free shot. Who's gotta say no to free shit?
Of course. That's smart.
Yeah. So,
genius.
And you tell them, it's like, hey, I can give you guys, like, if you're a graphic designer, then you'll be like, hey, I can give you some dope graphic designs. Here's my catalog. You're free. You're more than welcome to select some of these to your Nets compilation or your Nets EP for your artists and whatnot. And believe it or not, they'll respond right away. They'll respond 9 times out of 10. They'll respond. They'll definitely respond because obviously they'll be like, free shit. I'm like, all right, dope. I mean, and what do you do?
They're not going to say no to free shit. You know what I mean? No. Yeah, exactly. No label would do that. No. That's sick, man. That's genius.
It's a business at the end of the day. I offer you something free. What can you do for me back? Like, all I ask is take a look at me.
Exactly.
Take a look at me. And if anything, tag me and promote me or whatever. Just take a look at me. And if you feel like I'm dope enough and worthy to be on your label, then by all means,
Fire. Sick. I definitely thank you, bro. I'll definitely look into that, man.
No,
I'll make something. I don't know. I wouldn't make a vocal pack. I don't know. I'll make something else. Let's see. But thank you, bro. I appreciate the knowledge.
no, of course. I mean, it doesn't have to be a vocal pack. I mean, you can also offer them like your friend did a FX pack, or in your case, you can do a
exactly. Something
pack.
like that. We'll see, bro. I'll just make some. I'll get creative. I'll think of something. I'll get back to you and tell you what it is.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, give them something that you know that you can do it for free and it's easy and it doesn't sweat you at all. And it's just like, hey, here you go.
Exactly.
You know, it's like what
shit.
these are like
sure,
whatever.
Man.
You like it? It's dope. All right, here you go. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Now look at me. Now look at me. You know?
For sure, dude. Yeah.
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. One of the things I actually wanted to circle back with you was with the whole Scratch Academy, and then jumping into now where you are right now into the music. Yeah. This was just recently, right? Like this was just a few years ago that you got yourself into that world. What is it that says, oh yeah, I want to do dubstep overall? Like this is like what I really want to do every day.
Say that again, bro. I'm sorry. Just say the after this. I didn't hear you.
Like what is it that got you into like I want to do dubstep? Like
dude, bro. Well, that's gonna be a long question or a long answer. I mean, dude,
give it to me, man.
Dude, I mean, like I told you, I went to Jack U. I've experienced a lot of sounds since my first rave, which was Jack U. So since 2016, and then there's been a ton of sound change. You know what I mean? There's been like, I live in Miami, and it's probably the similar stuff that you hear when you go out, you know what I mean? When you go to raves and stuff like that. But there was like 2016, I feel like trap was the main sound at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that trappy, bouncy stuff was like really popular.
Trap era, yeah.
Yeah, that trap era. I like that stuff. I think that was
sick. Dope. My first EP was about festival trap.
Yeah, exactly. Festival, I think like that was really popular until about 2018.
Yeah.
And then 2018 it completely died. Probably a little earlier than that, I feel
probably by 2017 it died up a little bit more.
Yeah,
but by the time 2018, that's where like
house, I feel like was really popular around that time. That's when house started to take a really big upward. I really like house a lot too, you know what I mean? But then the rhythm phase came in like 2020 when Subtronic started blowing up crazy and then Sudden Death started blowing up crazy. And then that one was like, that's the what? You know what I mean? I was like, this is sick. You know what I mean? But that's pretty much how it went. I was like, this is the what? I heard rhythm. But no, it's like I went to the trap phase and I went to the really big house phase.
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing Sudden Death for the first time and those guys are like, yo, this is crazy, bro. And then that's why I like that one so much.
And what's actually pretty cool because I had that similar phase with myself. I didn't really start it with trap or bass overall. I actually started with Big Room.
Okay.
So imagine that. Like I started when was it? David Guetta's 2010 era.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's a whole different. You're like a few more ahead of me. So I feel like what was popular back then, man? Like house, you would say? Like that festival house, you know what I mean? Like that big room.
Big room, progressive house, electro house. Yeah. That was the shit because it was at that time that trance never died, but the popularity of trance died out a little bit. And once Tiesto moved out from being a trance DJ into a house DJ, that's where, you know, everybody decided to go along with it and
go along with him. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Trance was also very popular for a little while too, I feel like in Miami.
Yeah. And like I said, trance never died. It's just that popularity itself, like it wasn't as mainstream as it was back then.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I remember back in the early, let me tell you, dude, I'm 32. I'm about to be 33 soon. And I've been DJing for at least 17, 18 years. And
nice, bro. Respect, bro. Crazy.
And my EDM thing started 17, 18 years ago when I started DJing. Yeah. So it's funny because my first track was Adagio for Strings of Tiesto.
Sick.
And then after that, I started listening to a bunch of trance with Armin van Buuren, Ferry Corsten, and Ali and Fila, Paul Van Dyke, Paul Oakenfold, and little by little, Deadmau5 came into the picture.
Sick.
David Guetta came into the picture with The World Is Mine. and then the love is gone. And then I feel like I started to go more of that whole David Guetta route.
Nice.
And then that's where a bunch of other stuff starting to introduce in my life. And
To pop up. Yeah.
yeah, and then that's where 2010 Skrillex came about, and I feel like that's the first time I listened to dubstep for the first time. I know dubstep I've been doing for a long time, but Skrillex was my first track for listening to dubstep, and that's what made dubstep for me more appealing. After that, I've been listening to a bunch of dubstep, and then drum and bass, Pendulum, man, Andy C.
Pendulum's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Drum and bass is. I feel like drum and bass is coming in right now, which is awesome. I feel like drum and bass is making a giant come up in the United States right now. It's really cool to see.
I really hope so. I really hope that they really hit it hard again in the US, and that there's more drum and bass acts happening here a lot more. I really will fuck with it a lot more if they do that again, because seeing Pendulum again will be dope. And then
that was sick.
And having some of these other drum and bass acts that I love. I love listening to Coven. She's very, very talented, and I love her music, and her voice is amazing. Muzz is as a dope producer as well. Fat Stevenson, whenever he does drum and bass, that his drum and bass is like out of this fucking world. Like, you're like, wow, why?
Really? I gotta look at that guy. I never heard of him yet.
Fat Stevenson?
Oh, Fox Stevenson, dude. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
okay.
Sick,
no. Fat Stevenson.
No, yeah. Fox Stevenson's sick, dude. Yeah.
Of course.
Bruises? Like that song.
Yeah, exactly, dude. So like, I really hope that drum and bass do really come back and people can fuck with it a lot more. I think luckily the Monster Can and other labels, like, they made sure that drum and bass continue to stay relevant with their shit. Yeah, no, I really hope that it does continue. Now, something that I definitely wanted to ask you that it blocked my mind and I forgot to ask you. When you were in the Scratch Academy, in some shape or way or form, did any of the instructors ever help you out into networking with other people or networking to other places?
What do you mean?
Trying to get yourself your foot wet into the industry, Did any
they kind of do that. I mean, the thing is, they mostly focus on open format DJs. You know what I mean? They focus on guys who want to play like clubs, and like play whatever they want. They did help me a little bit. They hooked me up with some guys. They hooked me up with the guys over at American Grime. I played there a million times now. But there was I got lucky because when I went back, I actually had a teacher who only makes dubstep and drum and bass. So it's sick.
Dope. For
at
real?
Scratch. Yeah, at Scratch. So I got really, really lucky. So he's hooked me up. He's helped me a ton. Shout out to Some Jerk. But yeah, man, that's how I got lucky. You know what I mean?
What's his name?
I am Some Jerk. It's crazy.
Oh, send me his info. I definitely want to hit him up and for something.
No, yeah, he's sick, bro. You'll definitely like his stuff too. He's sick.
Oh, for sure. I'm pretty sure. Wow. So by chance, you met this guy that was into dubstep and drum and bass, and got yourself a little bit.
Exactly. He told me about a few places, and I actually played up most of the places that he told me about. You know what I mean? Which is awesome. But it shouldn't have been like that for the music that I want to make, because they focus on open format DJs. You know what I mean? They don't focus on people trying to do their own creative thing. You know what I mean? But it's awesome how it worked out.
No, I mean, right place at the right time.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
That's good, man. That's good, and more than ever is when you actually need it the most. It's always good to start, networking outside of your place and start meeting people, who may be actually as talented as you are, and they can always, help you out and to propel your career a little bit further. It's always good to do networking when you're going to these shows. That's my whole mentality. Whenever I go to a shows, I'm always in work mode. Always in work mode. I barely drink at all. I just have water and that's it. And even though with water, I'm always having a good time, but I just go focus on just networking with people and meeting people and see, who are you? What do you do? And I just start mingling and say, yo, you want to come to my show? Let's go, man. Let's kick it, I mean,
Awesome.
that's exactly how I met these guys from underground events. You know, shout out to those guys.
I think they actually just hit me up recently too, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, take advantage with those guys. Those guys know how to take care of their locals, man.
Nice.
Those are dope. Those are dope people. Chris, Andy, and Lorenzo. Those are dope people, you know. And they took care of me, you know, too many times, you know. They actually got a show happening this Friday. I think it's Subducta.
So I'm going to that, bro.
There you go. They just invited me to go on that show. I don't know if I'm actually will be able to make it, but yeah, they just invited me to go there. I'm like, shit, bro. I don't know. I don't know. That. Yeah.
If you do go, bro, I'll see you there, man.
Yeah,
absolutely. Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, but we'll see after that. You know, but yeah, even when I'm on those shows, even though when I go to their shows, I always network the fuck out of it. I network to everybody. Like it's like
you got to.
I feel like that's like the perfect time for you to actually like do all the stuff that you need. You know, like this is how like you get to connect with people and help you out with your business and help them in the business. You know, it's at the end of the day, we're all in a community, right? I help you, you help me.
You help me, exactly.
And that's how it's supposed to look. That's how it's supposed
to look. That's how, exactly. You know what I mean? People are trying to take advantage of people right now. And then I just don't really, it's not cool, man. You know what I mean? I've been seeing Getter and like some artists talk about it. That's the deep industry though. I'm not there yet, but like, you know, like artists and like labels taking advantage of you and stuff like that. And exactly what you just told me. But
no, believe it or not, that happens a lot more frequently than you think. And it's not you do see it in the local level, but it's surprisingly that you see it a lot more
when you blow up more.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. That's why as an independent artist is always way much better because 100% of the time makes more sense, you know, and you have 100% control of your music and do it the way you want it. I mean,
you want to, yeah, for sure.
I got this screenshot from Infinite. Shout out to my brother Robbie, which I 100% agree to it, man. And this is something that he posted on Instagram.
Okay.
Because somebody was asking him, have self-releases helped you more than big levels? And this is his words, quote, he says, 100,000%. I've made exponentially more money from self-releases, being 100 times happier with my self-releases because I have full creative control of when and how my music is packaged, presented, and put out to the world, and who I'm allowed to work with, that's very important because a lot of times there are
labels feel like you can't work with this guy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You know, because some label beef with some others, like Never Say Die and Disciple. There's sometimes that some of the artists from Disciple could not work with the NSD, and NSD could not work with Disciple. You know?
Yeah.
That's like crazy. That. And then he finishes up that, you know, I'm allowed to work with labels. We're allowed to work with, and labels can sometimes be great for many different reasons, but there's always some level of creative sacrifice you're probably gonna have to make when working with them. There's pros and cons, just like everything, really. That's what he says, and I couldn't agree more with what he says. You know?
Yeah, me too, man. For sure, definitely. I feel like self-releasing, the only thing that you probably do not get is promotion. Obviously, that's essentially what you want to be on a label for,
right?
Just for promotion,
right? I mean? Like everybody else, absolutely.
But the only thing is just you got to play the waiting game because essentially, like, the longer you're in the game, more people are gonna notice you. You know what I mean? Like you might not even need the label at that point. You know what I mean? That's the way I would see it.
Yeah. Something that I also learned from this rapper, Russ. Russ is definitely a very talented rapper. I mean, he's from the SoundCloud rapper era.
Yeah, for sure. I like Russ.
And yeah, Russ said it himself, like he doesn't fuck with labels at all because he found the formula. Like he found like the middleman to what labels need, you know? And once he already had the people that he had to...
He became the middleman. Yeah, exactly.
He became the middleman. Exactly. Yeah. He's like, why should I go to you when I can
do this myself? Yeah,
exactly. And earn all my money out of it.
Yeah.
So
yep, that's genius.
yeah, no, that's genius. I will always encourage up and coming artists and everyone else, like, yo, just go to the independent route for now. If a label does hit you up, I mean, and if you want to release on that label, then yeah, by all means. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of power with the label because you'll have their influences, their followers looking at you.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong to it. I never said that there's anything wrong on ever releasing on a label. In fact, one day I want to release on Monster Cat. That's, one of my goals one day.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. Good.
Absolutely. That's definitely that I know it's gonna happen, because I just have to put my time to my songs and make sure they're like perfect to the T.
Yeah.
And I already got the contacts to reach them out. So it's like
awesome, bro. Good. Manifest, man.
Yeah, exactly. So that's definitely something that I want to do. But and I encourage everybody that if there's a goal, go for it. But don't make it your end goal.
Yeah, for sure. It's good to have like little goals in between the end goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
to keep you happy and encouraged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Because something that I noticed, a few producers who were up and comers, they were very sad that that Never Say Die, disbanded as a label, and they're like, oh, this sucks. I always wanted a dream to release a Never Say Die, and now I can't. I'm like, that cannot.
I mean, there's so many. I love Never Say Die, but there's a ton of like rhythm dubstep labels out there. Yeah. Never Say Die was the one. That was the one that you want to be on. You know what I mean? But you got Disciple Roundtable. You got like all of the other ones.
Cannibal, DPMO.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of these newer guys are making their own little labels. Like Subtronics has like the Cyclops Army thing.
Kaizo has Welcome. Bear Grylls had Root Service.
Exactly. They're all making their own little label. And it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? They probably take care of you really well, I heard.
And I would rather go work with those artists that has their own mini labels. They do shoot to the stars with big labels because
the big guys,
because I would know that these little guys, because they worked with labels before and they've been on it,
they know how it is. Yeah, exactly.
And they made their own, and that's what they make their own, because not only is to to search the next up and coming, and let me put him on the map because he's dope and look at his music, but also for them to release their own music. Because that's one
exactly. That's probably why most of them started it in the first place, so they can release it on their own.
Yeah, so that way they have full creative control, and nobody can tell them like, nah, you can't release it because it's not within our label. It's like, well, fuck you, I got my own label.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, I'll release it on my own label. Thank you very much.
Yep.
So I would never discourage anybody to not pursue that, but don't make it like, oh, it's my end goal and I don't have a chance to do it. Like, nah, bro, because then you'll be setting yourself for failure at that point, And
yeah, because what if, I'm not saying that you won't get it, but what if you don't get it? What if you get like an option on a different label? You know what I mean? Instead of the one that you really, really wanted. It's still the same, kind of the same goal, but it's not the same. You feel like you're going to be discouraged, you know what I mean? And
then sometimes people really get discouraged about it and say, I don't want to make music anymore because Never Say Die doesn't like me anymore,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And it's probably is not that they don't like you. It's probably like your sound or your music quality is not right on par to their standards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Never Say Hi. I have some really good artists on there, man. Yeah. I found out about a bunch of guys out there. I wish it never ended, bro.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. man.
R.I.P.
Never Say Die to
Never Say Die. R.I.P. dude.
Yeah, no, which is funny because it's like, well, that really did not live up to its name.
For sure not, bro. Never Say Die died, man.
Yeah, seriously. Rest in peace to Never Say Die. Oh, well, there's a back and forth with that one.
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah. So you say now that you got your next show coming out, is there a upcoming show that you're planning to like perform anytime soon, or do you want to stick to just producing music and working yourself up with your catalog and whatnot, and then release it out of there?
I play a show this Friday. I'm playing for my friend's birthday over at Stoon for my boy B-Rod's birthday. My friend Brandon, I've known him since 5th grade. He's one of the guys who runs Stoon.
Oh,
So he invited me to play over for his birthday. So I'm like, for sure, bro, of course. But I mean, right now, man, I've been really focusing from like really big shows and stuff like that. I've been focusing mainly on just getting tracks out and finishing them right now, just because I don't have enough of my own personal songs yet, honestly, to play like a nice lengthy portion of just my own tracks. I probably have like completely finished tracks. I have probably like 4 or 5, you know what I mean? And that's like 10 minutes of DJing, you know what I mean?
Right.
If you really, after you mix them all in together. And I want like a good, like, I want at least my set to be like 30 minutes, like
of just
20,
these,
just my own stuff. You know what I mean? That's the goal. You know what I mean? You don't want to be playing other people's stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm really working on right now. Just trying to pump out as many tracks as I can, good ones. I have 50. I was looking at my FL Studio. I have 57 unfinished projects, and I have like 4 finished projects. So I got a lot to do. You know what I mean?
Hey, welcome to the club, man. Like if you look at my Splice account and you see how many unfinished projects I have and how many I've released, like you'll be like, oh, okay, I don't feel as bad as much, I've seen fucking Virtual Riot's folder, and that motherfucker has like 400 sessions.
That's insane. And that's crazy.
And I can safely say that out of those 400 sessions, probably the grand majority of them are already like done, and probably a few that need to be just clean it up and master and ready to go. But out of those, like you get like 10 or 5 release on Disciple, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that is pretty much it, man. I mean, that's crazy. He's insane. Virtual Riot's a beast. I love that guy.
Yeah, no, that's definitely that's a god that walks among humans, man.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I had the pleasure of meeting him when he played at Treehouse.
Oh, yeah?
Really cool guy. Super, super, super cool guy. Really dope.
Very, very dope person, man. I can simply say, like, at least the majority of the Disciple people in there are very dope people,
I feel like that too. Yeah, for sure. It's a nice label. They have some nice artists on there, for sure.
Love those guys. I love them. Mode Step, shout out to my brothers Josh and Pat, man. Those are the true G's. And Myro, Disciples label owner. Shout out. Those are really, really dope people, and you can tell that those guys really care for each other and look out for each other by the way how they release their music and look and do their tours and whatnot. Like they're literally the people is like, oh, we're doing this together. We're all gonna be big together.
Yeah, and I like that a lot. It's sick. It's sick.
And they get in touch with the community a lot. That's what one of the major problems that Never Say Die and a bunch of other labels don't do that often is that this label and the roster of the label, they interact with the community and they fuck around with the community, then do meet and greets with the community, and they get the community involved with stuff, like that's dope. Not a lot of labels do that, so for them to stay in touch with the community, I mean, that's why they got their most loyal fan base overall.
For sure. I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree there. Yeah, I Never Say Die hasn't really done anything. I've seen them maybe probably one meet and greet since Never Say Die has been a thing, thinking about it, or like something like that. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, man. And I wish like they didn't have to hype, but who knows what really went down to them? Like, I don't know.
Exactly. Some shit went down, bro. You know what I mean? Or like, definitely, because how can something so good and so like drastically, just like with one, you know what I mean? So, or maybe Schism got tired, bro. Maybe he just didn't want to do it anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, but then again, that's why you hire people to do it for you.
That's
why you have it exactly a team to do it. Like maybe you're tired of DJing. All right, cool. Then have people to hire it. But then I did notice that like after their last compilation and after the pandemic hit up, like I noticed that a lot of their releases were a little bit skimpy and they weren't very consistent. Like I remember like every month was a new NSD
Never Say
release.
Die. Yeah, and it was not like that. Yeah.
And every week it was a new release from Black Label.
Yep, exactly.
Now, after the pandemic and the last compilation,
it kind of messed up their flow. Yeah, for sure. Like I agree.
Once I saw Black Label, like, Finito, I'm like, oh shit, like this could potentially happen to the side. No, not the side, but to the actual main label, because now everything gets released. But then again, I don't hear that much of a Zomboy track. I didn't hear that much of the Must Die tracks. I don't hear much of the Dr. Ozzy's or any of the other guys. Like they had such a good roster, and for some reason, it's just like, you know?
Yeah. Tragic, bro. Tragic, man. I really wanted to be on Never Say Die. That was like a mini goal of mine. You know what I mean? But
me too.
There's other labels. You know what I mean? We'll make it. We'll have a good time.
Absolutely, man. We'll be there one day. One day I'll be a Disciple and Monster Cat. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. Another goal of mine is to be on Halcyon. If you ever heard of that label yet?
Absolutely. Halcyon will be pretty dope. You know? Yeah. I got a Rushdown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even this one, the YouTube channel one. What's it called? No Copyrights Sounds.
Never heard of that.
You never heard of that?
Of the YouTube has its own little thing now.
There's a record label that's called NCS, No Copyright Sounds.
That's owned by YouTube.
Well, it's not owned by YouTube, but it's a label. They're known because they have it on YouTube.
Oh, okay. No copyright sounds. Let me write that down.
Yeah, no, it's an actual channel. No copyright sounds, and they throw some of the hardest and those most melodic shit ever. Like
really, dude,
bro. They're if anything, they're basically the competition to Monster Cat. You know?
Okay, sick. Wow.
No, if you release songs with them, bro, you're gonna be taken care of. I mean, bro, their YouTube channel has like.
No copyright sound. I can't believe I've never heard of these guys, bro.
Yo, hold on. I'm gonna tell you right now. 0.7 million subscribers.
That's insane. Wow. And it's like future based, like Monster Cat type vibe,
it's
right?
Basically Monster Cat type label. That's what it is, you know?
Okay.
And let me tell you, like, I'm looking at it right now. 9 years ago, one of their songs that was released 9 years ago, 147 million views.
Wow.
That was 9 years ago. Let me look for something that's more recent. A year ago, there's a song, 34 million views. No, these guys are legit. All right, the most recent song, 8 days ago.
Oh.
Half a mil views.
Wow.
No, these guys are really legit. Like, so if you ever had the chance to release them, that you're good. You're good with them, bro.
Yeah, my bad, bro. I was holding up my fucking sister. What's up, dude?
Oh, no worries. Actually, another thing that I definitely, because it's connected to all these tracks and, you know, you getting into these projects, you say that, you know, that we all have like this long sessions, you know, that we have like 20 sessions and unfinished projects, but we only got 4 songs. How long does it usually take you to finish a song of yours or finish a session?
So I try to make it take no longer than 2 days, because when it takes longer than 2 days, then you lose motivation and then you aren't as motivated to finish the track after about 2 days. I feel like after the second day, you're like, I'm over this. You know what I mean? Or like the third day. But that's the thing. So you want to pump out the track as quickly as you can. So I try to make it in about 2 days. You think so? I mean, I get like the core... You know, I get the main song pretty much in 2 days, like intro, breakdown, drop. Then I repeat it, you know what I mean? Or like whatever I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then I try to get that done in that two-day frame most of the time.
That's actually pretty decent. Much more faster than your average producer. Average producer usually is a week.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. Really? I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
An average producer usually takes a week. A very fast producer usually does it in 30 minutes to an hour.
That's insane. That's insane, bro.
No, bro. Well, Virtual Riot, Nitty Gritty, and among others that I met, they're Terminators. Like, I've seen them work on an actual fucking project in that short amount of time.
That's crazy.
I mean, you probably seen it in Virtual Riot streams. Like, he says, like, let me do the 10-minute drop. He does a drop in 10 minutes.
It's a banger. Yeah,
it's a fucking banger. And then, let me do a 30-minute. He does it.
It's a banger.
And it's a
Yeah,
fucking
and it's a
banger.
very
30
yeah,
fucking minutes. He does a
yeah.
song.
That's true.
So
That's a training exercise, though. I learned that. I've taken a bunch of like master classes and then school, obviously, and stuff like that. But I've learned that it's good to like do that stuff, like because it's like a training exercise for your brain. You know what I mean?
basically.
Going in there, making like a nice 30-minute song, making it the best that you can, and then you got to be conditioned to like make songs as quickly as you can in that time frame. You know what I mean?
They even have done the do a song per day for 30 days. You know?
Yeah, exactly, something like that. And then you time yourself, and then you see how good it sounds, and it's like a little test for yourself. You know what I mean? It's really, that's helpful. I did that. That's super helpful for sure.
No, absolutely. It's definitely very helpful when you do that. And I always encourage people to do those challenges because of that whole training mentality to keep the flow going. Most of the time I just tell people like if you don't have the time for it, then do what I do. Like just spend 2 hours every day, just 2 hours of making a project or working on our session. Spend 2 hours. Don't go overboard 2 hours. If you want to spend 4, that's totally up to you. But I say 2 hours every day. And I'll guarantee you, you'll do a whole lot more on working on a session for 2 hours every day than working on one day for 4 hours or 8 hours on a session. That you will notice how quickly you finish this song if you just worked for 2 hours every day. Like today I'm working on this. Tomorrow I'm gonna be doing this, and then next day and so on. Because then you train your mind self that like, oh, I can't wait until I open up the session and start doing this. And then
exactly. And that's what you want. You know what I mean? That's the goal. You know what I mean? That's what you really want to get to that point. So yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Now, in regards to writer's block, this is something that it's a myth to a lot of people, and it's real to many. Do you actually believe in writer's block?
Definitely, and I've had it before, but like I wouldn't call it writer's block. I would say, I mean, yeah, that's the official name for it. But let's say you're making songs daily, right? And then you're essentially just get tired. You're like, everything's sounding kind of mid, and you're like kind of like annoyed with your stuff almost. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what writer's block is. But then I realized the best thing to do in that moment is honestly take a break. Like take a 1 week break, like a 7-day break, watch movies, get inspired by other creative things. And then you're going to come back in a week wanting to like destroy FL Studio, you know what I mean? Or Ableton or whatever you use. But like you'll be really excited after watching, like I watched Star Wars. Recently I was like, yo, this movie's sick. All of the sound design in that movie's insane. And then I made like a little crazy Star Wars edit intro and then all of the stuff in it, you know what I mean? But that's how I got that inspiration from that. I'm just doing something completely different, not music related for like a few days, you know what I mean? 7 days. I would recommend 7 days, not longer, unless you really are like deep into music creating and stuff like that. But I would recommend no longer than 7 days and just watch creative stuff, man. Read books, watch movies, you know what I mean? Play video games even, dude. But like, try to get creativity from elsewhere, you know what I mean? Not from just yourself, you know what I mean? And then you'll have a lot more ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely encourage a lot of people to actually be more creative and actually like get out there more often. If you feel like, you're on a funk, then, do stuff that makes you happy,
Yeah, exactly.
Go to that happy place, basically. Go to that happy place. I sometimes do believe it. I do believe writer's block. Like, but everybody's different. Everybody will tell you like writer's block doesn't exist. It's just a figment of our imagination that we put in excuse.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be true. But at the same time, you may be wrong as well. I mean,
I feel like everyone definitely has those moments where they're just like tired of the stuff that they're making.
Yeah,
there's definitely no musician that's never not felt like that. And they tell you otherwise, they're probably lying. You know what I mean? But I definitely feel like everyone's had like, yeah, exactly. Like you're just like, this sounds like shit, dude. You know what I mean? And you're just kind of like over it. But then you just got to take a break. You know what I mean? Get right back to it, dude. You know what I mean? Don't stop.
No, absolutely. And one of the other things that I always tend to do, like if I'm gonna be out of, getting out of the funk, because I've met amazing, talented producers that they've been at it for months. They'd be at it for months on writer spot. I'm like, damn, bro.
Really? That's laziness. I feel like at that point.
You believe that it's laziness?
I think at that point, I mean, unless they're making an insane amount of songs, you know what I mean? Like, let's say they pumped out over 200 tracks and they literally have like nothing else they can do, then I understand that. But unless you're at that point, it's definitely probably laziness. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't know.
I will tell you personally that I've taken the hiatus. Like I will say, there was a time in which I definitely stopped for a period because I was just like I couldn't get into it and I didn't feel right. I felt pressure about it, so I stopped.
I feel that,
and I haven't returned until not too long ago that I was able to release my single last year. And not too long ago, I finished a collaboration with two talented artists, Mantech and Infinite. You know, shout out to my brothers.
Awesome. I know those guys.
Yeah. So I'm ready. And so it was, those little weird times in which like, let me open a session because I don't feel pressured anymore. Now I feel like I can do this. Bam.
Yeah, exactly. And that's you don't want to feel pressure, right? You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, you don't want to feel like you're forced to make something. You know what I mean? Because then you're not going to make anything good or bad. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely not, man. Now,
when it went to it having fun.
Yeah, that's the whole point, to have fun, man. That's the whole point, to have fun.
Go into it having fun. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, have you already started working on collaborations with other artists, or you haven't got to that point?
I started some. These guys are like, they haven't really finished anything yet. Like I'll start the project, I'll send it over to them, but they haven't finished it. Team Rocket, he's actually the guy who told me about you. We started a song. He recently just moved and he's super busy with his life right now, bro. So I'm not even gonna bother him. But we started a song together. Who else? So a couple of my other friends, my friend Slayer Dubs. We made a bunch of songs together when I first started.
Right.
But nothing, not a serious collaboration. I mean, I feel like it's just hard for me to get someone who's just as serious as I am. And I'm also very new. You know what I mean? You have to realize that. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't really have enough of a reputation for myself yet to make other people want to collab with me. You know what I mean? That are not my friends. You know what I mean? Right. It's just friends, me and friends doing this stuff right now. Soon, man, hopefully, let's see. I mean, I'm mostly focused on myself right now, just trying to get tracks out, get singles out right now before I really work with anyone. But I have a few people that I've been speaking to. My boy Kudos over from Stune. We've been talking about getting something started. Anithera, I think I'm saying his name right. Dude, sorry, dude, if you're watching this. Yeah, he's someone I've been talking to about getting a track started. He's also a future-based guy, super sick. But yeah, dude, just trying to get things started with the collaborations. I haven't really have any.
And are you always willing down to try other genres other than bass, or you just stick with bass and that's it?
I like melodic bass. That's my personal go-to. I love that stuff. But I'm down to make anything. I make other genres with the melodic bass feel. You know what I mean? That's what I try to, because that's my sound. You know what I mean? That's what I try to do. Like I'll make a drum and bass song with like, glitchy melodic vibe type thing, you know what I mean? But I try to resolve everything around that melodic vibe, you know what I mean? Even if it's a different genre, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Get yourself that little imprint of yours in there.
Yeah, exactly, man. So if I make a house song, it'll be like that vibe, you know what I mean? If I make a drum and bass song, that same vibe or whatever, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Oh, we got like a few more questions and we can wrap this up, man.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
So one of the questions is like, why is it that you actually chose 2urner as your artist name?
Dude, this is a funny story, bro. So, when I was younger, my real name's Turner, obviously. I mean, if some people can't figure that out, it's hilarious, bro. but my real name's Turner, obviously. But dude, when I was younger, I don't know why, I had this friend who would always be like 2urner. Who would say the number 2 and then 2urner. I'm like, that's a cool name, dude. So I just took it upon myself and just kept it. You know what I mean?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? It's simple, easy, it's a cool name. I think it's
catchy,
cool. You know what I mean?
Easy to spell. Why not?
Yeah, exactly,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Damn, that's actually pretty dope. All right. So right now, what are you currently doing and what do you hope to accomplish by in the future?
Well, I have the single coming out. That's something that I have been working on a lot, trying to find the right distributors and
Mhm.
who I want to work with to get it distributed and everything like that. That's something I've been working on. Something else is trying to get more shows out of Florida.
Uh-huh.
Something I've been working on a lot, trying to play in other states and other places currently.
Dope. Dope.
I've been speaking to a few people, you know what I mean? I've been speaking to the guy at Aesop's and like other cool places, Spiral Dreams in LA. I've been speaking to a few guys about getting out of Florida. You know what I mean? That's a goal of mine. So working on that. Just trying to, I mean, I'm still, like I told you, I'm pretty new to the scene as a DJ
Right.
and as a producer. So I just want to get heard and make noise, make people notice me and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But that's pretty much it for like current goals and ambitions. You know what I mean?
All right. So we got one more question and we can wrap it up. But before we get to that question, I give this opportunity to every guest in my show, to ask something about me, whether it's about me or whether it's about the industry or any other secrets that you want to know, any ugly truths that you want to know. Like, ask me about anything. Like, if there's a specific question that you've been always wanting to know about the music industry and you never know who to ask or know how to do it, I can probably give you a better answer to it. And
In the future, for sure, dude. Yeah, I'll definitely talk to you, man. I appreciate that a ton, bro. Thank you so much, man.
no, of course, man. So if you have anything right now is your time, and if not, then you can
Can I ask you a question non-related to that question?
Absolutely.
What made you start wanting to do these podcasts, dude?
Well, it was around that time that I was telling you that I had my hiatus with music. I felt like
Okay.
I don't want to be pressured down to do something that I don't want, And it's not like that I don't like making music. It's just like I feel like what I'm doing is pleasing to the masses and not myself. And at the same time, it's like I had so many collective information about the industry that I've worked for, like, I've been in the nightlife scene for over a decade,
Yeah, you told me like 17 years, man.
Yeah. So it's like I know so many things that I wish somebody could have, guide me to do to like avoid some of the mistakes that I've done or the mistakes that others have committed, and I never had anybody. And usually this type of information I get it from if I talk to the person who's really in the game,
Yeah, for sure.
So I decided like I want to do a podcast, and I've loved listening to podcasts, for almost my whole adult life, and I feel that they're very informative and very dope. And excuse me, and I hope that my podcast can actually help others listen to and educate themselves and doing stuff that they can avoid, because
Awesome.
I want everybody to know that the whole music industry is not just black and white. There's a lot of gray in it, and there's like a lot of shady in it,
For sure.
And people may say like, "Oh, being a music producer is easy." Like, well, no, it's not. Like, there's some layers behind it, and this is a podcast for better understanding that and helping others at the same time. A wise man learns from his own mistakes. A wiser man learns from other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
The wisest man learns from both.
Smart. Nice.
So
it's a good code.
Yeah. So I try to be like the wiser man and then have my audience being the wisest man or woman, however you want to identify yourself. But yeah. But yeah, I decided to do this podcast, and it's also gives me my own free time to talk about the stuff that I really, really, really wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
because I feel like I've been limited to not talk about in front of certain people. So this podcast show gave me the opportunity to actually talk about those moments, like saying that the Grammys are rigged. Oh my God, how do you know the Grammys are rigged? Oh, well, this, and this. And because I talked this, and this. Oh
Wow,
wow.
that's an interesting topic, bro. You have a show on that one too, dude.
Yeah, I have that in the episode.
That's an
bro.
interesting topic, bro.
Yeah, I got that. I got the why you shouldn't send demos to these demo submissions. I also got to like do not fuck up with your business relationships. Like because they can ultimately help you or crush you.
Nice.
So it's like you got to be careful with that. I did an episode dedicated on reading contracts because you see a lot of these artists they getting screwed over later in the future and
for not reading it. Yeah,
for not reading it because obviously they see the money up front. They seen it.
They don't give a shit. Yeah, they just sign that shit. Yeah,
they sign that shit because, and obviously you can't fault with them because some of these people are people who never have money in their lives and they're like, I want to get out of this, this funk. I don't want to be any more low class. I don't want to live, in the streets. I want to have my own house. I want to have my own project. And I can understand that. However, labels do, at least these major labels, they do prey on that a lot. And that's how they keep you, and that's how you, basically you're owned by them in a sense because you owe them money. The money that they give you is not actual money for you to keep.
It's not yours. It's like,
it's a loan.
It's an upfront paycheck. Yeah, exactly.
It's a loan that you need to make sure you get that money back in return plus interest.
Yep.
And if you don't, then they own your ass. And anything that you earn on the next paycheck, you gotta send it over to them, man. So and it's stuff like that you could avoid if you read the contracts or you pay a lawyer to read the contracts. Because let me tell you, I'd rather pay $500 for a lawyer to read a contract versus me owning thousands and thousands of dollars to somebody.
Yeah, you already know about that, bro. That's insane. Wow. So definitely, thank you, bro.
No, of course.
So yeah, bro, I learned a ton this entire podcast. I want you to know that, bro. Thank you so much.
That makes me very happy to hear that, man. Like if it really does, man, appreciate it, man. That actually fulfills me a lot more than you think, man. And
for sure. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. You're doing some good stuff right here, bro.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I'm never stopping on doing this, man. I love doing this. And I love it. I love it to do it by myself, but I'd love it to do it for the community, man. And yeah, check out my channel, bro. You're going to see a lot more episodes. And you're going to actually see a lot more episodes with people that I've already interviewed. Like, for example, Needy, of course. My boy Needy. And Shindo, the main producer who did Justin Bieber's song Peaches.
Oh, wow. That's sick.
And you got other talented people, Skybreak, Dr. Ushu, Bizu, obviously Mantic, Semi Infinite, 10 Grabs, and also some locals from South Florida, from up Florida, from other states, from Europe. Like you'll hear their stories. So if you ever take your time, take a listen to it, man. Listen to some of the old stuff that I've been ranting for a while,
For sure, bro.
I appreciate, for you to come over to the show, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course, bro. I want to listen to your music, bro, after this stuff. So as soon as I hang up this call, bro, I'm actually going to go to your page and check out that song you said with Infinite, dude. I want to check that one out.
It's not out yet, but
it's not? Okay,
we're gonna release that one soon, very soon. It's part of Infinite's projects, with
sick,
because he's releasing songs every 2 weeks or so, and with music videos and that. But it's part of that project right there that we're gonna release it soon. So, but I will send you some music so you can take a listen to it.
Yeah, man, please.
And yeah, man. We'll end it with this high note, man. Thank you for coming over to the show, bro.
Hey, no worries, bro. I appreciate you, man. It's been a pleasure, bro. It's been a pleasure.
Same, man. And guys, thank you for listening. And remember, every week is a brand new episode with a brand new topic. So always remember to like and subscribe for your weekly episodes at the Lone Wolv Podcast for SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. And of course, the YouTube channel at youtube.com/the Lone Wolv Podcast. That's right, guys. You can check all my latest episodes. And if you guys want to, you can comment down below. Let me hear your thoughts, share your experiences. If you guys got a specific topic that you want me to cover, please let us know in the comments down below. And we'll do our best to cover it at the next episode. So thank you guys for tuning in. And we'll see you guys at the next one. All right? Peace.